Radio $sign.
My name is Carlos and you are listening to Radio $sign. This episode of our show What's Poppin', What's Clocking is also being produced as a written text to all members of our audience with hearing problems. System Bronx-Air was an exhibition held by Austrian artist Klub. My boss told me to skip the introduction since the exhibition has become more or less a legend. I still want to do it since there are those poor souls among us who haven't heard about it. I did hear about it, but sadly didn't make to see it. The exhibition took place in an old university building, Linz Kunstuniversität. Theme was the birth of hip-hop culture and the similarities of the calm, stable matter. List of VIPs was rather short, but even more interesting. One of those who were in the list was MC Penetratte, a vocal artist from the band Neue Lebensstil, poet and an activist of sort. I, Carlos, the pasta maker MC, am more than happy to welcome Pene to our interview to tell his point of view, how it all went. Welcome to our show.
Thanks. Even though I said yes to your request for doing this interview, I hope you to address me as Mr. Penetratte or MC Penetratte or just the MC.
Oh, of course, Mr. Penetratte. Excuse me, please.
Please, come on, man.
Alright then. So, how did you first got to know Alexandra, Kahl and Jan Weiler?
I thought there would be enough written about this matter already. You can just copy-paste an old interview if you want to know about Neue Lebensstil or about that whole years in Linz.
Of course, senor. My mistake. So it was the year 2020. Even though the COVID was very much alive in Europe, Klub was able to produce this exhibition. Mr. Penetratte, how you think it was possible?
Well, I guess it's a club which is hard to get into. This club. I mean, those guys work their asses off and have been doing so since the beginning. So for me, System Bronx-Air was just another one of their great exhibitions. But look how it ended up.
I see. So you would say they are like animals?
Oh yeah, they're on this art jungle shit, you know. So I got invited in the very early stage. First they wanted me to do a solo show with my crew, the Money People, but we were just in the middle of our tour and it was a bit hard time, you know, the COVID and shit. But I was helping them to organize some artists. You see, Klub is not only a group which produce art, they also do curate some kick-ass shows.
Like what? I mean, I have heard only so much.
The Turbo Time, $sign, Pineapple Castle and Rainbows.
They did that? Pineapple Castle and Rainbows?
Yeah, back in 2018.
I had no idea.
Yeah, well anyways, I was in contact with John Matters and some other East Coast cats. Apparently their presence did some things good for the show. That's the least I could have done for them. You mean, keeping it money, keeping it espresso.
What do you mean by that? Keeping it espresso?
Let's just say when you take double, you better hold your horses.
Alright. Where were we?
Yeah, well, they wanted to do a show about hip-hop and similarities of some matter or some shit. Using 3D curtains and the latest shit was the way to go. I mean, I had an idea with some RC cars and stereo systems with the latest musical hip-hop opera, but they took it to a whole new level.
I couldn't agree more. Please tell our listeners and readers, how did the show look like?
Well, it was a blast. For the ones who do not know, Klub is in the basement of this old university building. It is a space designed and produced by the members of the Klub for one function only, to showcase some good ass shit $ art. They did make it all geometrical and shit, I don't know. One wall was just a big curtain, those 3D curtains, you know. Then there was a stage like a huge cuckoo clock. Every now and then there was different musicians coming out while riding this huge tongue.
A tongue?
Yeah, like this red carpet, and it was going back and forth. The musicians were on top of it, but they all had this one play what they had been practicing. It was a bit whack, but still somewhat great.
Please, senor, tell me more. I'm all ears.
Yeah, hold your horses, see? Then the floor had this pink squishy carpet thingy. Every step made a sound. Klub had produced these small sculptures which were smelling like different perfumes. It all sounds like a lot, but believe me, there was a lot of space to walk around. Just look at everything. I felt like inside of some weird sex toy or 90s billionaire daydream shit.
Oh, senor, that sounds beautiful.
See, remember the titles?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Penetratte.
Yeah, well, the show was a success. And the merch, I mean, that shit is CRAZY. Crazy.
I have only heard about the little surprise eggs they made.
Yeah, they did those. The exhibition catalog had the same squishy material, and inside was a collection of mini discs, inside of which were all of the recordings from those musicians, and they also produced their own exhibition perfume.
Amazing! Mr. Penetratte, thank you so much for your time.
Carlos, no problem, B. You're a good guy.
Oh, Senor Penetratte, that means a lot to me from you.
Carlos? Nah, I'm just messing with ya. Want to test some of my masks?
Could I really?
Unofficially, sure. But let's cut this interview and listen some good music while we go through my masks.
Alright, listeners, next one you hear a song from Ariana Grande, and then we return. I am Carlos, and with me was the legendary hooded rapper star Mr. Penetratte.
Peace, people, and keep it espresso.
Radio $.